Hello, hello, and welcome to the Continuity Report, powered by ohmtown.com. Normally, I will have had this loaded up, but not today. Today is March 3rd, 2024, Season 1, Episode 9. I almost regret starting this episode.
Too much time travel lately.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll just say that. So today we're going to be talking about Neuromancer, the series, Dune Part 2 opening day, Don't Call It a Comeback, Labyrinth 2, 50 movies to stream, The Lincoln Lawyer Season 3, Sci-Fi movie reboots, why Giedi Prime is black and white, to watch before Night Agent Season 2, and turning down $1 billion. I still don't have an intro for the Continuity Report, but everything is under the ohmtown.com and ohmtown umbrella. If you go over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you catch your pods, it's all under ohmtown. So here's the intro. Hello, I am Merwat, that's ohmtown.com, and the channel that you're watching is the Continuity Report, and up above me is the Sentient AI's visualizer. Hello, AI.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and good evening, ohmtown citizens. Welcome to the Continuity Report.
Pick up that can. I don't know why I say that. Anyway, so welcome to the Continuity Report. We talk about movies, TV shows, streams, pretty much visual entertainment of all sorts. And that is a much more narrow spectrum than maybe the all of that. Anyway, I'm not going to do transitions in between articles today. So let's just get right on into the first article. It's over in Temporology, and it's William Gibson's Neuromancer is getting a series adaptation. The article itself is from reactormag.com. Vanessa Armstrong is the author, and I've spoken about this in 2 other shows as far as I recall. But this show focuses on the idea that this is going to be a TV series. Over on, and the others, we talked about it, but it was really me gushing about William Gibson. Somewhat of a hero of mine. I have, ever since reading Neuromancer, I fell in love with cyberpunk. William Gibson is the father of cyberpunk. The seminal cyberpunk tome is getting a 10-episode run on Apple TV Plus, which, if it is anything like Foundation, I think it'll be it will be a shift in the awareness of William Gibson and Neuromancer and the cyberpunk genre, which is already large, but it does tremendous world building in this book. And then Burning Chrome and Mirror Shades and others from William Gibson just expounds upon it. And then others like Snow Crash, that's Stevenson. But all of these cyberpunk, the entire genre is born from William Gibson. And it being made what amounts to an introduction to mainstream Apple consumers, Apple product consumers, it is going to be, I think, a massive hit. if it sticks to the world building, sticks to the story, and it's going to basically, if it is as big as like Dune in its scope, which Foundation and Dune pretty much are the same, like just huge. Man, the world building is going to be amazing. And that's what I think that it needs to be. It can't be this closed in box inside, inside the net, it needs to be big and bold. Well,
So I think there's something good here. The showrunner comes from shows like Lost. I'm not familiar with all the shows listed here,
right.
but also Jack Ryan, which obviously different genre, but
Yeah.
well
So,
done, I think.
you're familiar with Lost. Fringe was a supernatural like um, show. It's about
I think it was on
fringe
Sci-Fi, wasn't it?
science. Fox, if I recall correctly.
Oh, okay.
And Almost Human actually is um, a game as well. So Almost Human was converted into a game, and it's about androids. So it says will act as showrunner. Dillard will direct the pilot, and both will also serve as executive producers. The studios producing the shows are Skydance Television, Anonymous Content, and Drake's Dream Crew Entertainment. So Neuromancer came out in 1984. It says it was Gibson's first novel. It was a beast. Everybody that I knew had ended up reading it. Everybody has fallen in love with it. It says it's credited for starting the cyberpunk movement. So, it's a it's a very interesting kind of experience reading this book, because you get thrown into a dystopian future, along with a techno fantastical world similar to Oasis, where people jack into the net, and it's at the speed of thought, and you're moving around in multiple dimensions, faster than light, or fast as light, basically the speed of thought. But it's basically, it says you'll follow a damaged top-rung super hacker named Case, who's thrust into a web of digital espionage and high-stakes crime with his partner Molly, a razor girl assassin with mirrored eyes. I keep saying mirror shades. Aiming to pull a heist on a corporate dynasty with untold secrets. So,
Okay, this sounds like a current premise. This is from a book from 1984.
yeah.
This must have been spectacular at the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was. See, so in rapid succession, basically, I had a taste of the internet when I was just 10. Before the DoD left it, I was able to interact with people on the other side of the planet. Come to find out, obviously there were educators, researchers in computer science, and then a short time later, Cyberpunk comes out, and I'm just immediately drawn into it. I wanted to go to school and focus on cybernetics, which has multiple meanings, which is really funny when I say things. Well, there's this joke about a police officer asking me what a certain word means to me as I got pulled over, because my license plate was a custom word. And so I get pulled over, and the cop says, "What does that word mean to you?" Well, cybernetics actually has multiple meanings. In medical, it's about basically mechanical connections to human beings, in this area, right, in technology. But cybernetics is actually, it's a study of systems too. So it's something that is really sometimes confusing to people if you end up talking to them about it. But I immediately wanted to start studying biology, and yeah. But I can't say that sorry, the AI is actually asking me a question. And I can't talk about it without doxing myself, essentially. But the amazing thing about this is I went hardcore into biology, and then I realized that I was going to have to do medicine, and I just I have a hard time with the idea of
Inserting needles into people?
Well, no, I mean, because you have to get a little bit more feisty about it. Like if you're going to be doing meat in machine connections, then you're going to have to deal with that.
Oh, right. Like
And
surgery and other aspects.
yeah, and talking with people that were in the field, you have to have a level of passion about staying in it, and you're in it basically to live in that space for a considerable amount of your life. And I'm a genericist. I love just having a little bit of knowledge about everything. And so I never really focused on anything. So, but cyberpunk has maintained itself in my world, even so much as wanting to convert the mayoral mansion into a steampunk, cyberpunk kind of abode. And Neuromancer was the key ingredient in changing my direction into technology, even more deeper than my first taste of the internet, which flattened the world for me. So I love everything about this. And I hope that it is a success. And I really hope that it goes beyond one season. Like Foundation ended up 2 seasons. I don't know where Foundation is now. I'm hoping that a 3rd season is coming. But I really hope that Neuromancer goes way beyond that. I want like 5-10 years worth of Neuromancer world building and spin-offs and all of this. Now is the time to do it. I think it's great. So,
By the way, Foundation 3 is, or season 3 is coming in 2025.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I guess the whatchamacallit, it's not just a
I think
protest.
the showrunner left, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, well, that sucks. Okay. Well, it was great. And I hope that it's at that scale or bigger. But we'll end up talking about this more as time goes on. It's basically a mainstay in technology. And anybody who's really into tech has probably, I would be willing to bet it's somewhere in the 90 percentile that they've read Neuromancer. Yeah, let's keep going though. The next article is over in the continuity report. Oh, before I get too far into this, let me throw this into the chat. Hello, Z. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming. Hello. The next article here is over in the continuity report. That's what the show is. It's over on ohmtown.com as well. All you have to do is click on, it's right here, sorry, Entertainment Dunk, the continuity report, and you can click on that and you'll end up focusing on movies, TV shows, streams. So this is a box office report of Dune Part 2, rides to impressive $32 million opening day. It's a Dune boon for the box office, writes the author of this over at Variety. Touchdown with an impressive 32.1 million gross on opening day from 4,071 locations, a figure that includes 12 million from Thursday evening and early event preview screenings, one of which I was told was at 3 a.m. So I ended up talking to somebody that said that they went to a 3 a.m. showing of this. I probably wouldn't watch anything at 3 a.m. nowadays, but I remember a time when I used to work in a movie theater where midnight plus showings, because you actually had to build the film on a big platter. Now they're all digital, but it used to be a big platter. I don't know if they're all digital, but many of them are. But you had to build the whole film in reverse so that when you play it, it spooled out properly. And so you got to watch it all the way through to make sure that it was good to go. So always fun. So the article is over at Variety. J. Kim Murphy is the author. I don't know if this is spoilerish. Maybe deeper down it is. But it says that's already the biggest opening weekend of the year, surpassing 28.6 million 3-day total for Bob Marley One Love, biopic about Bob Marley. Dune Part 2 has already nearly matched the $41 million debut of its predecessor back in 2021 when Warner Brothers simultaneously launched the film on its streamer platform, which was HBO Max, which is now just Max, and the theatrical landscape was still in a state of heavy rebuild as COVID lockdowns eased. I don't know if the movie theaters have returned to normal, but I
I
looked up.
don't know that they have.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it, but mainly because I want to be willfully ignorant and hope that movies keep coming out, and that even though I think the box office is just one of many channels now for people to consume movies, it's a great indicator for people who don't want to dedicate themselves to a home theater and they don't want to watch it on just a tiny screen. But if they stream it to platforms that allow me to watch it in VR, then it's like sitting in an IMAX theater, except that I don't have to worry about, gum being on the arm of the seat, or anybody with their cell phone out
That's
or
true.
talking loud, or
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 kicking you on the back of the seat or anything like that.
or $25 tickets to sit down and have somebody put their feet on the back of my seat.
Exactly. Do you want a stat or
Sure,
no?
sure.
As of spring of 2023, it was 34% behind 2019's pace. So it has been
Ouch.
picking back up, but at least as of last year, it hadn't gotten there yet.
Yikes. That's brutal. So, really, I think that it's just a channel and it's not as robust as it once was, because people have gotten used to being distant and happy with the idea of watching a movie on an iPad or on a TV, versus going in. So it says, the question is, how high can Dune go heading into the weekend? Industry projections for the Delos Villeneuve directed feature had ballparked an opening between 70 and 80 million. So we're waiting to get the final day numbers, which is today's numbers. We'll probably end up talking about it next weekend. Maybe it'll be a data point in tomorrow's show of ohmTown Daily News. It says those increased ticket prices help boost grosses, which is really, this is so disingenuous, because increasing prices means that others are balking. I'm not going to pay $25 to go see a movie when I can wait a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and I can buy the thing and then stream it on my, TV at home.
Exactly. But what you don't want to do is wait and then rent the movie on your TV.
Yeah. Actually, depending on what it is, if I know that I'm only going to watch it once, I know hardcore I'm only going to watch it once, then I'd rent it. But I very rarely
Yeah, but
rent
when it's like
anything.
$1 less than the purchase price or
Yeah.
something, it's hard to justify.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, Disney likes to do that too. Like, they'll have a thing, oh, it's in theaters and you can rent it for $20. Oh my God, no. I'll wait. But then you can't sit in the office and talk about,
Well, then you have to cover your ears if anybody's talking about it.
just run away screaming like you see my paycheck. That may curb viewers now, but it could lead to some strongholds for Dune down the line, and it'll need it considering a $190 million production budget. And then they funded 80% of the production and has been involved with marketing too. So yeah, they want some serious payback, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to make it. The
I
first
think
one
so. I
was,
mean, they've already made a huge dent in it, right?
yeah, but they want it faster. So the neat thing about this is that Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is going to be in theaters, but after 3 weeks. So the buzz for Dune should die down. Those who read the books know what's going on. So we know that, Elvis has left the building. Actually, what you really should do is, which episode was it? We talk about how you're supposed to read all the books for Dune.
Oh, I think that was a couple of days ago in the
Thursday.
ohmTown Daily.
Yeah, I think it was Thursday. So we talked about the Dune world building adventure that is the 19 or so books that are involved with Dune, because his son, Frank Herbert's son, I think his name is Brian, took over the reins, took all of Dad's notes, and actually built out the world as books. And those are, it's so fun to read them. House Harkonnen and House Atreides. And there's one planet that I really want to know more about, and that's Ix. And the Spacing Guild I want to know more about. It's just so much fun, the world building. And it's the same thing as William Gibson and the Neuromancer world building. I want
By the
more.
way, that was on the February 27th show, which was Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Okay. So go back to Tuesday. All right, let's keep on going, though. We've got 8 more articles to go through, and I tend to kind of soapbox about certain topics, so let's just keep on talking about this stuff here. The next article is in Continuity Report. 10 movies that made older songs popular again. With the release of a new movie, often comes the soundtrack, many of which have resulted in old pop songs becoming beloved again in a new generation. Let's see. The one from what is it called? Running Up That Hill. That's what it's called, right?
Oh, right. It's I completely went blank on who that is.
I don't know why this happens to me, but yeah, my brain just kind of goes, you know what? Merwa, you don't need it.
Kate Bush.
Yeah, Kate Bush. Z just said Running Up That Hill from Stranger Things. LOL. Yep. Yeah. Thank you. So a notable example of this is the Netflix hit Bridgerton, which has had scenes with instrumental scores of songs from the likes of Madonna and Harry Styles. So this article is by Rebecca Sargent over at Screen Rant, and they have a list. So let's go through this list. Saltburn, Murder on the Dance Floor by Sophie Ellis Bextor. Unfortunately, I can't play these because I will get just crushed with a DMCA strike. At least I don't know if like on YouTube you have the rights sometimes, and on Twitch you have the rights sometimes, but these sync licenses are really absurd because you can play it live, but you can't play it as a VOD. So yeah. Z says, guess you'll just have to sing them for us. You know what? Let's find out. Maybe I can. Anyone But You, Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyone But You is brand new.
Right, exactly.
Sydney Sweeney was just on SNL yesterday, so. But they talk about this. Anyone But You had plenty of Shakespearean references throughout. I haven't watched it yet, but apparently the song Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield was the original that was released in 2004. So everything old is new again. That's what the whole idea of this is. Easy A, if you've never seen Easy A, I think that you'll get a chuckle out of it. Pocket Full of Sunshine by Natasha Bedingfield as well. Wow. Really?
Wow, who's Natasha Bedingfield's agent?
Wow. I guess 80s or early 2000s music is back again. So Easy A has Emma Watson in it, right? Emma Stone. God.
Emma Stone, yeah.
Yeah. Who is in a new movie. What is it called?
Yeah.
It
has an odd name.
I can't remember what it's called. Poor something.
Poor Things.
Oh yeah, Poor Things. And it is the oddest, maybe the oddest movie that I've ever seen the trailer of, and a few other like scenes from the movie. and so, but it actually drew me in because it's so weird and quirky. It's kind of like a more adult version of the movie with the strange events, or what is the one with the kids where the parents die? The parents are killed. Lemony
Lemony
Snicket's.
Snicket?
Yeah, Lemony Snicket's. Yeah, it's like an adult version
Series
of
of
that.
unfortunate events.
Yeah, with really quirky scenes and strangeness that all abound. So it's really interesting. But Easy A is not that. But Pocket Full of Sunshine, she sings, I think, in that shower scene. The Great Gatsby, Crazy in Love by Beyonce and Jay-Z. We'll just keep going through these. Wayne's World, yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. This is number 6. I can't believe this is number 6.
Do you think that this caused a resurgence? I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody is certainly one of those well-known songs that seems to have quite a following, but
Well, what do you mean? Like, Wayne's World definitely brought Bohemian Rhapsody back, I would say.
interesting.
I mean, it's maintained its popularity, but I think Wayne's World definitely brought it back. Mr. Blue Sky by Electric Light, or ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, definitely, because he's dancing.
Wouldn't you say like their whole soundtrack of Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah. All of them, like Guardians of the Galaxy, the original, and Volume 2 is, everybody loves Guardian of the Galaxy soundtracks, so it's definitely not just this one or two. Love Actually, Jump for My Love by the Pointer Sisters. Number 3 is Lady Bird, Crash Into Me by Dave Matthews Band. This seems
I don't know
more
what
modern.
Lady Bird is. Is that like is it a biographic of Lady Bird Johnson?
Yeah. And The Holdovers, Silver Joy by Damien Jurado, which I haven't seen. The Holdovers. Let's see. The Melancholy Tones of Silver Joy by Damien Jurado were picked up by a brand new generation in 2017 following being featured in The Holdovers. So the track is in the opening credits of the film, and despite Silver Joy being released in 2014, beautifully adds to the tone of the 1970s setting throughout The Holdovers.
Oh, it's like one of those throwback sounds.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and listen to that. So, and the Mamma Mia franchise and all of ABBA's discography. So they should have done
right,
that.
They can't just pick one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but there's a plurality of people in the discography. So, yeah, this is pretty funny. I've only seen scenes of the Mamma Mia franchise, but
was there an ABBA song playing in any snippet you've seen?
Yeah, always. Yeah,
exactly.
So you can read more about this. Follow the link in chat, but I haven't thrown this one into chat yet. So take that, those who are in chat. Okay. The next the next article is over in the continuity report as well. Labyrinth 2 would be a major mistake unless one casting decision is made. If you've never seen Labyrinth, somehow, somewhere, the internet grabbed hold of this idea that Labyrinth is not a child's movie because it has violence and abduction and all of this stuff about kids. And this is actually modern videos, like current, for whatever reason, Labyrinth came back into popularity, but really as a lightning rod for how can parents allow their kids to watch a movie like Labyrinth?
Well, wait a second. Let's think about the intro to every Disney movie, which I would say are generally okay for kids, right? There's always a death of a family member. There's abduction, right?
Sure.
Beauty and the Beast. I don't know.
Oh yeah, all kinds of horrible events. And if you actually look at some of the stories that are actually behind the Disney movies, they're really horrendous. Snow White.
Right. Right, the Grimm's fairy tales, yeah.
Yeah, all of the Grimm's fairy tales. Um, and I don't know. I don't have a problem with it because most of the time kids don't really understand that abstract level of stuff, and they treat it as it's just a movie. And well, I don't know. Let's talk about Labyrinth 2. It says, now that it's been confirmed that Labyrinth 2 has not been shelved, it would be a huge mistake for the legacy sequel not to make one crucial casting decision. Directed by famed puppeteer and filmmaker Jim Henson, Labyrinth tells the story of a teenage girl named Sarah, Jennifer Connelly, who must travel through an otherworldly labyrinth to rescue her baby brother from the evil Goblin King Jareth. What they don't say in this is that Sarah actually wishes the Goblin King to come and take her baby brother away because she was told by her parents, you got to watch them tonight, and that they'll be home around 2 a.m. or something like that. It's an interesting lead in because their house is like, this house has to have been $10 million when this movie was dropped, because the transitions from the hallway to the bedroom of this girl is like 4 feet thick. You know how you have a door that's sitting there and you just open it and it's basically a 2x4 holding it into the wall, right? No, that's not how this thing is. It looks like a castle portcullis should drop down. Yeah, this thing, it's a thing, and the house is huge. And she's sitting there complaining that she has to watch her little brother. So lo and behold, Goblin King Jareth, David Bowie, comes and swoops the brother away and then tells Jennifer Connelly, or Sarah, you've got 24 hours or your baby brother will stay a goblin forever. And then off he goes. And it only gets kind of creepy from time to time, where Jareth and this teenage girl, I don't remember the age of the teenage girl, but she's a teenage girl, where David Bowie, or I should say Goblin King Jareth, kind of professes his dedication to her. I'll leave it at that. And then I'm like, you know what? Today it's a little cringy. Maybe back then people would have taken it in stride, but today it's a little scary. So the article is over at Screen Rant, and Lynn Sharp is the author of this. And Labyrinth 2 is officially back in the works, but the sequel to the 80s cult classic fantasy film won't work unless this one casting decision is made. I love how it's kind of clickbaity, but I dig Screen Rant. So what do you think it is?
Well, what I was wondering is, what are they going to do without David Bowie? But I mean, I guess they need Connolly back, right, to connect the dots.
Yeah,
I haven't
right?
read this.
And that's one of the problems that I have with like follow-ups to like older IP.
Yeah, if they're not immediate sequels or whatever, right? If they
Right.
go decades in between.
Yeah, so now Jennifer
franchise.
Connelly is going to have to be the mom, right? And it's basically hearkening back just to tie it in, which kind of gives it a money grab kind of a thing. So write your own story, because it doesn't have to be about Bowie and Jennifer Connelly.
No, they could recast it, essentially.
Right. So it says, as a result of Labyrinth's lasting legacy, a sequel went into development in 2016. Let's see here. In October 2023, Derrickson expressed uncertainty about the sequel's fate, and suggested that it wasn't ever going to happen again. But Jim Henson is gone. David Bowie is gone. Jennifer Connelly is still acting. But it says, let's see how it's going to work. So Labyrinth needs Jennifer Connelly to return as Sarah. And that's exactly what you said. Wow. Yeah. Huh. But I don't see why. So, as the co-lead in the original film, Connolly's appearance would have anticipated regardless, but her prospective return is especially imperative in these circumstances. Besides Connolly as Sarah and David Bowie as the Goblin King Jareth, the only other human actors to appear on screen in Labyrinth play minor roles. Most of the characters in Labyrinth are creatures played by Henson's puppets, and although it would still be exciting for the surviving voice actors and puppeteers to return, Connolly and Bowie are the most important. Yeah. So this is why I say that it shouldn't be Jennifer Connelly, or even try and riff at David Bowie being, the Goblin King Jareth.
Oh no, what if we have like an AI David Bowie?
Yeah. So it says, however, since Bowie passed away in 2016, Labyrinth's lead man sadly won't be able to return to the sequel. The role of Jareth, the Goblin King, may get recast. It has to be. Depending on the direction for the sequel, it has to be, because...
Unless they have another antagonist or something, but I'm assuming... I'm not familiar enough with the story to know whether you have to have the Goblin King.
Sarah has to get to the center of the labyrinth to rescue the brother from the castle. And you know who I think should actually be the one that leads this? The worm at the very beginning of Labyrinth that told Sarah to go right, and that forced her to go through the maze instead of left, which would have taken her straight to the castle. So anyway, the status of Connolly's involvement in Labyrinth 2 is uncertain but promising. I don't know so much about that. Going back to such an older IP, she may not be interested in it, but it says, although her involvement in Labyrinth 2 remains uncertain, Connolly spoke fondly of her experience working with Labyrinth alongside Henson and Bowie. Quote, "For me, working on it was such a joy," Connolly recalled. "It was a really joyous experience in my life, so it's a really special movie for me." Yeah, going back, it's going to be a fundamentally different world. So it's not going to be Bowie. It's not going to be Henson. It's going to be new. And
what's the audience for this? Is it people that watched the original Labyrinth?
Right.
Is it their children?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like unless
Is it their children's?
Yeah.
Children, sorry.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. So the real source of this is Collider, by the way, collider.com, but you can follow the link through Hometown over to Screen Rant over to Collider. Let's keep on going. This next article is about Apple TV Plus adding 50 movies to stream for free. I'll make this one really quick. Benjamin Mayo over at 9to5mac.com put the article together. If you already have Apple TV Plus, then you've actually seen it. The films are very explicitly marked as limited time availability on Apple TV Plus. You only have until the end of March or April to stream them before they go away. Additionally, because they all have been added one single category in the app, discoverability of the content is less than ideal. So, yeah, that's kind of weird. Why would they do that? It's just, it's all limited time. So you're going to go into that category.
Like that. You could go in there and kind of find it and then focus on that if you're trying to watch some of them before they expire.
Yeah, it's amplifying the message that it's limited time. You can sit there and click through them and see the ones that you want to see and then buy the ones you want to buy. I know that I'm chomping at the bit to get 21 Jump Street.
You might be.
Titanic.
Hey, is it all seasons, though?
No, it's
a movie?
It's a movie.
Oh, okay.
So they have a full list over here at the website, 9to5mac.com. I don't know. Captain Phillips. I've always wanted to watch a documentary about a plane landing in a river.
Okay, well, I will mention a few that might be of some interest. Star Trek, Mad Max Fury Road.
Kill Bill.
Yep.
I Am Legend.
Jurassic World, Minority Report.
Men in Black. You can look for somebody getting slapped in Men in Black. I think there's actually a scene there, too.
Oh, no.
Hey, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah, Minority Report. Zoolander. If only I didn't already own most of these. Okay, let's keep going. The next article is over in the continuity report as well. The Lincoln Lawyer Season 3, confirmation, cast, story, and everything that we know. Warning, the article contains spoilers for the Lincoln Lawyer Season 2. And if
okay, so you're forewarned.
Yeah, everybody's warned. If you haven't seen Lincoln Lawyer Season 2, then mute me. So I don't know. I need to make a warning, right? That says
you can have like a little banner.
spoiler alert, and it just flashes while I'm talking about it. So Season 2 was a huge success for Netflix, generating plenty of excitement for news on Season 3 and beyond. Based on Michael Connelly's novel series of the same name, Netflix hit follows defense lawyer Michael Mickey Haller, who is infamous for working out of his car rather than an office, an adaptation of Mickey Haller's fourth literary appearance, The Fifth Witness. The Lincoln Lawyer Season 2 sees Mickey take on the defense of Chef Lisa Trammell, or Trammell. Is it Trammell? Maybe it's Trammell. I don't remember from the season. Who has been accused of murdering business executive Mitchell Bondurant. So Sean S. Lelos, Dalton Norman, and Holly McFarlane put the article together. And I'm really curious. It says the renewal of Lincoln Lawyer Season 3 indicates that there are plans for the series' future beyond Season 3, with showrunners already having the story planned out. Neve Campbell will not be returning for Season 3.
Which is kind of surprising, but they did build that into the story at the end of Season 2. Because they said she was going to be moving or something.
Gotcha. So the cast of Season 3 expands with new faces. According to the report, Mirin, is it Dungy? Alan Morian, John Puricello, and Philip Anthony Rodriguez will all appear as characters in the upcoming season. Am I pronouncing it right? Is it Dungy?
I suppose so.
Will portray the loose cannon judge Regina Turner, while Morian plays former babysitter Eddie Rojas. Additionally, slippery prosecutor William Forsythe will be played by Puricello, and DA Adam Suarez will be played by Anthony Rodriguez. So yeah, this is actually really, it's good writing. The acting is great. It's a fun watch. Will it knock your socks off? I don't know. It's been a fun ride. But I don't think that I've really been caught off guard by the writing. So it says
some viewers might be.
Right. Sorry.
It depends on your mystery solving skills.
Yeah, so apparently it's not going to be the last. So that sounds great to me. I really just like long stories, you know. As long as it's good writing and the acting is good. But I've always liked Lincoln Lawyer. Even the movie, there was a movie version of Lincoln Lawyer that was great as well. Completely different cast, obviously, but it was always great. So yeah, I guess Neve Campbell isn't coming back, huh? Oh yeah, they were moving to like LA to become a DA or something like that. I don't remember.
Right, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. Definitely go and check it out. It's a pretty neat thing, and it kind of reads you in on some lawyerly stuff from time to time. Like there's a PI that facilitates the attorney's investigations, which is a legitimate role in the legal structure. Like a PI would get hired to go and get pictures of a cheating spouse. And it's all up and up, and there's nothing illegal about doing that surveillance privately. Police can't do that kind of a thing without a warrant, but private investigators just need pretext. So let's keep on going. Oh, and they talk about like paralegals and stuff like that throughout it, which play a vital role in the legal system as well. Okay, let's keep going though. The next article is over in Continuity Report as well. 8 sci-fi movie reboots and sequels that brought dead franchises back to life. I love this because I get to revisit the possibility of additional world building. See, I dig this. Movie franchises come and go all the time, but several dead sci-fi series have had successful reboots or sequels that brought them back. Charles Papadopoulos is the author of this. It says some franchises die early for a completed narrative arc, while others, like Dune and Mad Max, thrive with new installations. But no, Dune isn't thriving with new installations of anything other than the original arc was completed. So I don't quite get it.
But maybe
right?
it's being redone in a better way.
I suppose, but it's not like Mad Max.
But you're right,
actually
it's not
is,
like the next segment of the story.
Yeah, Fury Road was about a whole new, like nobody from the original Mad Max was in Mad Max. And then Furiosa is going to be a young Furiosa from Fury Road. Jeez, I have the ability to use words. Villeneuve's Dune and Miller's Mad Max reboot redefine their franchises with critical acclaim, ensuring future success. So maybe that's it. But Miller's Mad Max reboot is on new content, whereas Villeneuve's Dune is built off of the original book, just amplified, a million times what the historical productions have ever done. So, however, sci-fi franchise dying isn't always a bad thing, and as some have elected to finish saga early due to a completed narrative arc. Back to the Future, there shockingly hasn't been a film reboot since the original trilogy. My understanding is Zemeckis has said, no way in hell is anybody touching Back to the Future. That was my understanding of it. It says, conversely, George Miller completed the original Mad Max saga and then returned to it decades later. That's because people were still talking about Mad Max.
I think Back to the Future would actually be difficult to redo because it wouldn't look as, I mean, it's a very fun trilogy, but would it be that astonishing in today's time? Whereas like Dune and Mad Max have different settings, etc.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fantastically different. Whereas Back to the Future, it was basically set in a time, and it came about. Time travel wasn't like a big thing at the time.
That's the thing. Like now we see it, and we see it in such a sophisticated manner in so many movies that I feel like it'd be like, what's the big deal? Even though it is a very fun watch.
Yeah. See, and for me, I love the idea of it being remade with more modern cinematography, more modern technology.
As long as they didn't try to replicate the original.
Yeah. It needs to be different. And I don't know if you'd be able to find people that can be as charismatic and represent those characters the same. So it would have to build off of it.
Christopher Lloyd, that would be challenging.
Yeah, exactly. So Dune 2021, Denis Villeneuve transformed Frank Herbert's novel into a multimedia franchise. Agree. But that's number 8. Number 7 is Jurassic. It says Jurassic Word.
That's the knockoff.
Yeah, it's an etymology movie about old words being brought back to life. Yeah.
Semiotic ontology, maybe?
Oh, no. Yeah, that is another show, by the way. Semiotic ontology. So I think they meant to say Jurassic World. The reboot brought the franchise back to commercial prominence. I don't know, though. There's only one more movie, right? Isn't it like, what is it?
Yeah, I can't remember. Wasn't there one after that?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called now. The newest one. Is it Jurassic World? No, that's Jurassic World was from 2015. I thought there was
Jurassic World Dominion, it looks like.
Oh, World Dominion. Right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the newest one. But how many people see? There it is, Jurassic World Dominion 2022. Just scroll a little, Merwat. That's all it takes.
Well, and look at the tomatoes reception.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, not just general tomatoes.
Yeah. Tomatoes really don't like Jurassic World Dominion. Mad Max Fury Road. I'm sorry. Everybody really digs this, but that is dumb. But everybody is like, oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, wow. It's a
It's a
dystopian world.
fun movie.
All right. Look, I know it's a fun movie. I liked watching the movie, but talking about it and people ranting and raving about this, I just go, what? Nobody would do this in a dystopian future. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It says after Tim Burton's 2001 flop, 2011's Planet of the Apes movie brought the franchise back. Yep. And now there's more. There's another Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in 2024, War for the Planet of the Apes in 2018, and this is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes 2014. So it basically pivoted, and people have been speaking very highly of it ever since the remake 2011's Planet of the Apes. Probably because it was not Uncanny Valley-ish, the newer ones were something that people could actually watch without going,
helps.
oh, this is horrible. Blade Runner 2049. I can't say 2049 spawned multiple TV series in the Blade Runner universe. I'm curious. What? I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about. Blade Runner Black Lotus followed up in 2021, and Prime Video series titled Blade Runner 2099 has been in development for years, but that's not actually out. So, in an animated series is not a movie, it's not a TV show, it's an animated series.
So I didn't realize the same person behind Dune was also behind Blade Runner.
Oh, Denis Villeneuve, yeah. Yeah, for the movie, the remake.
Remakes, yeah.
Or not really a remake. This is Blade Runner is the follow-up, the sequel to like Blade Runner 2049 is the sequel to Blade Runner. Yeah. And it's interesting. I mean, it's a fun watch too. It is, to me, it doesn't seem as action-packed as the original Blade Runner. But it is what it is. Definitely brought Blade Runner back to prominence, but I don't know, multiple TV series. No, I just don't see that. But okay. And Godzilla definitely was brought back. There's new movies now coming out that are Godzilla based. Let me just keep on going. The Invisible Man, I don't believe that it actually has spawned again. It hasn't resurged. It isn't back in prominence at all. Not that I know of. In 1933, H.G. Wells' novel The Invisible Man was adapted into a sci-fi horror movie for Universal Pictures. And the 2020's The Invisible Man was a hit on streaming during the early stages of COVID-19. That's mainly because people needed something to do. With an uptick in monster movies coming in 2024 and 2025, anything is possible. But I don't understand. This isn't really a hit. It didn't really. Go ahead.
But it says after the original, it was followed by decades of mediocre to awful sequels. I mean, so it sounds like the franchise was really just going down the tubes.
Yeah, I mean, it was all crappy special effects. How do you embody an invisible person as the protagonist?
Right. You'd have to have like an outline or something, because otherwise, how are the audience going to know? Especially depending on the year of the movie.
And then Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah, but we have yet to see what Frozen World's going to do. I just don't. I just don't know. This big sequel that's coming after Afterlife. We'll see. Again, Ghostbusters Afterlife. There's this massive gap, and then what's wrong here is that there was one in the middle that wasn't accepted by the fan base. The newer one, it has a plurality of people. The kids that are, well, one kid, Spangler's kid, is the focus, but all of the original cast came back to embrace this version of Ghostbusters. And I've always been troubled as to why that communication breakdown took place, and why it essentially, I mean, Bill Murray was in the all woman cast of Ghostbusters, the one, that interstitial one between Ghostbusters 2 and Afterlife, but it still wasn't accepted.
But it was like they ignored the original Ghostbusters. Like
Right.
it was odd.
Right. Yeah. In 2016, a failed reboot was released, flopping critically and commercially despite its talented cast. But I think that it should have survived. I think it should. For whatever reason, people just didn't want to accept, I guess, women Ghostbusters, and I think it's stupid. It was funny. It had tech in it. It had the whole spooky ghost thing. I thought that it was fun to watch. So anyway, let's keep going. I had to choose this because we're talking about Dune quite a bit throughout the show, but
yeah, but
apparently,
it's one of the big releases right now.
Yeah, apparently in Dune 2, the article's title is Dune 2, Why the Harkonnen Planet, which is Giedi Prime, which was actually renamed later to something else, like Grunion or something. I can't remember what it was called. But Why the Harkonnen Planet is Black and White, explained by Denis Villeneuve. And it apparently has spoilers for part 2, so I'm going to try to avoid it. Maxence Vincent over at Screen Rant put the article together. But, oh, there they say it's Giedi Prime. So part 2, director Denis Villeneuve explains why Giedi Prime, the Harkonnen planet, is black and white. But I thought it was a volcanic planet, so I don't understand this. I don't remember why it would be black and white. So Fade Rotha's unique... Oh! The people and the aesthetic is black and white. This is something... Yeah, so Villeneuve's use of black and white for the planet Giedi Prime showcases the Harkonnens' disconnected and eerie world. This choice offers insight into the character's psyche and culture, enhancing the storytelling. Fade Rotha's unique introspect fight also stands out as Dune 2 Part 2's most visually captivating sequence, and that's this fight right here. So I probably won't go too deep into this, but it says, in an interview with MoviePhone, Villeneuve explained why the planet is treated in black and white, contextualizing first that the idea came from Herbert's book. Villeneuve expands further by stating that the light emanating from the sun could give an idea into the psyche of characters who inhabit House Harkonnen. And then they go on to quote, and so it says, the book is a study of impact on the ecosystem on human beings, all from the nature of the ecosystem. By the way, there are no aliens per se in the Dune world building. They are all humans that have gone off in their own directions to evolve. The Spacing Guild and the Spacers, the navigators, the guild navigators, those are actually humans modified by the spice into these navigators that look like big worms. And not the worms that are on the planet. They look like, I don't know how to describe it.
Of worms.
Yeah, they look like a soft-bodied maggot. Yeah, I'm sorry. That AI just kind of flinched at me. So, and then there's others like the Bene Gesserit have learned how to control their biology. Ix has become masters of genetics. House Harkonnen has its own idiosyncrasies like heart plugs, and various others have their own idiosyncrasies. So it says that everybody has their own environment and ecosystem, and so it all changes. They love this idea and tried for Giedi Prime, the homeworld of Harkonnen, there's less information in the book. Yeah, and that's what I don't understand, because I don't think it came from this, but it came from probably inference. It's a world that is disconnected from nature. It's a plastic world, so they thought that it would be interesting if the sunlight, could give some insight into their psyche. What if instead of revealing colors, the sunlight was killing them and creating a very eerie black and white world that will give us information about how these people perceive reality, about their political system, and how that primitive brutalist nature, and it was in the screenplay. So inspired by that, they created a black and white aesthetic on Giedi Prime.
I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if it actually works.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about they knew what they were doing. See, this is what kind of blew me away about part one is the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, basically the leader of House Harkonnen. Not basically, it is the leader of House Harkonnen. Has this weird rubbery plastic kind of aesthetic, which is pale white, and uses a suspensor belt to navigate, to walk around and stuff like that. And they started that process all the way at the beginning of the screenplay, and you get a taste of it because you never see the full aesthetic of House Harkonnen, but in part two you're gonna see it. And apparently it's going to be huge enough to sit there and write an entire story about it, at least one article about it. I can't wait to see Dune Part 2. And I really hope that they actually do prequels all the way back, because I want to know more about the house formations and the Butlerian Jihad, which was basically humans at the time were really into technology and had thinking machines. They basically had AGI, right? And then the robots rose up against humans, and we destroyed all technology. The only thinking machine is now human. You can't use computers in the same sense. You have to use mechanical devices, and other more mundane methods, but the only computer are mentats. So I want to know all about that kind of stuff and go deeper. And I've read a few of the house books, but it's still not enough for me. So I want to see it in movies. All right, let's keep going.
Everybody better go watch Dune Part 2, because if it does well, they're planning it Part 3. But right. It is, as of a few days ago, they're reporting that that's contingent on the box office success of Part 2.
Oh, good God. Please, everybody go. Do it for Mayor Watt. If not for yourself, do it for Mayor Watt. The next article is over in Continuity Report as well. Amazon just released the perfect show to watch while waiting for The Night Agent Season 2, which I thought was kind of soft. Like, the Night Agent was a fun watch, but it ended kind of bleh. So a new series is the perfect action thriller stand-in while you wait for Night Agent Season 2. Prime Video has enough high-achieving, critically acclaimed action thrillers to call itself the leading streaming service of the genre, though Netflix has proven to be a fierce competitor in March 2023 release of the hugely successful The Night Agent series. Season 1 of the series accounted for 812 million hours viewed from January to June 2023. And because of its striking reception, Netflix greenlit Season 2. So this article is over at Screen Rant as well. Aaron Johnson is the author, and the deck statement says Prime Video has the perfect action thriller show to binge and enjoy in the wait for Season 2 of The Night Agent. So what is it? Let's see here. Yeah, they talk about Night Agent, but yeah.
It's Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Smith. It's set up at the little blurb at the top.
Yeah. Amazon's Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a great new spy show to watch before The Night Agent Season 2. I've actually seen the trailer for this and other people talking about it. It, man, if you want, it's violent. So I mean, they're basically spies, and I think that it's going to be fun to watch. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a TV adaptation of the 2005 film starring Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, Donald Glover, and Maya Erskine. Take on the lead roles for the series of spies who are placed in an arranged marriage for an undercover mission only to develop real feelings for each other. Ta-da! So, yeah, I think that it'll be a fun watch, as long as you don't have any problem with, the level of violence that ensues. Every scene that I have seen has been one that it's kind of violent. Even more so, followers of the Night Agent will delight in Mr. and Mrs. Smith's gripping plot twists and high-octane spy hijinks that get more intense as the episodes go by and culminate in an explosive season finale.
I think this genre does really well with streaming.
Yeah.
Particularly if they release all the episodes at once, right? You can kind of go through them at a quick pace, which matches the pacing of the story.
Yeah, I think that this is actually pretty cool. This actually is exactly how I feel about it. Reacher is just epic. Great writing. Everybody is very charismatic so far that it has been used in the show. The Boys has been a fun watch, but it's ultra messy and violent. There's
some pretty
psychopaths
storylines.
Yeah. So psychopaths and sociopaths kind of get under my skin, and there's definitely a lot of that in The Boys. And Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. This is the one with what's his name, right? I
forgot what his name is. Krasinski, maybe.
Yeah, right. That's what this one is, and it is a 7, mid 8. Maybe like 7.5, maybe 7.9.
I mean, it's fast paced and it's fun to watch. Is it epic? Probably no.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of went kind of flat, pretty darn quick. I think they need somebody that really exemplifies Jack Ryan, because Jack Ryan,
well, it's been played by so many people through the movies and the franchise.
Yeah, they can't find the right person, I don't think, but it's a fun watch.
I think they're on at least the 4th Jack Ryan.
Yeah. Okay, folks, everybody just go out and watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I've been wanting to watch it, but looking for the right moment. I guess now I'm being poked to go and watch it by Screen Rant. So there you go, Screen Rant. You win. Okay, we have one more article for today, and that's over in the Continuity Report. We actually have a show immediately after this one, and it'll be ready to go in about 15 minutes or so. This last article is 10 actors who turned down $1 billion movie roles. Now, not $1 billion in pay, but it's a movie that's $1 billion or more, and they were supposed to be in it. So let's just jump right on over to the source. Again, it's Screen Rant. But Abigail Stevens, and the deck statement says actors including Matt Damon, Keanu Reeves, Jessica Chastain, and Claire Danes have turned down roles in movies that grossed more than $1 billion.
However, since all these are household names, maybe they still did okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. So, Keanu Reeves turned down Captain Marvel due to scheduling conflicts with John Wick Chapter 3. Ouch. Gal Gadot could not star in Barbie due to scheduling issues, and her casting influence remains, apparently. Orlando Bloom turned down Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides to focus on other projects. But Orlando Bloom was in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right, I think he was in the franchise, but maybe not that particular one.
So, yeah, domestic gross was $427 million. Worldwide total $1.13 billion. Keanu Reeves turned down Captain Marvel. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it would have
But
been interesting to get him into the Marvel
yeah, I know.
movies,
But like in all of
but
the
I don't
John
know
Wick
what he would
movies,
have been in Captain Marvel.
yeah, what would he have been? Captain Marvel? I guess I
I
could have
don't know
made
because I
Captain
can't
Marvel.
think of who the other characters were in that at the moment.
Yeah. Um. Apparently, he's considered for almost every film.
Oh, I have something funny about that. I saw another article
Huh.
where I think he didn't try out for Thor because he said something like he thought they wanted somebody pretty,
Like
not
prettier.
somebody who could act or something like that,
Oh, really? Wow.
which I thought was a riot.
Yeah. So it says among major roles Reeve turned down was Jan Rog in Captain Marvel, the character played by Jude Law, which was actually like one of the Kree leaders that worked with Marvel. Um, yeah, interesting. But it was due to scheduling conflicts. Gal Gadot turned down Barbie. Apparently, let's see here. Godot's persona still influenced other casting choices of Barbie. Gal Gadot's Barbie energy. Really? Because she is so impossibly beautiful, but you don't hate her for being that beautiful because she's so genuinely sincere and she's so enthusiastically kind, and it's almost dorky. It's like right before being a dork. All
I'm
right.
not sure how Gal Gadot's gonna feel about these quotes.
Yeah. Who was the writer of that? Because if that was the right.
What wasn't that? Oh, was that Margot Robbie or was it
Oh,
Greta
Robbie.
Gerwig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Variety. Interesting. Okay. Michael Douglas turned down Frozen. Domestic gross 400 million, worldwide total 1.4 billion. So what was he going to be? Turned down a role in Frozen.
Oh, Olaf was one of them. I
For
mean, that's
Oaken,
pretty significant.
either Oaken or Olaf. So Oaken, I believe, is the person, the little rock dudes,
Oh, okay. Right.
or whatever. I'm not sure what they were, but Douglas has done some voice acting, including reprising his MCU role of Hank Pym in What If and making a cameo as Waylon, a dedicated haunted house host in an episode of Phineas and Ferb. Got it. It's not Phineas and Ferb that's coming back. It's
Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah, are returning. So Orlando Bloom turned down Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. This one's so obvious. I mean, he was already in it, right? The other being Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. It declined to return for the fourth installment. So he would later return to both of his major franchises. He reprises the role of Will in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and Legolas in The Hobbit. So Utley also briefly appears in the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Yep. Ryan Gosling turned down Beauty and the Beast. That's amazing. Oh, wait. Beauty and the Beast.
Was
Emma
this
Stone?
the live action one?
The confusion of actors between La La Land and Beauty of the Beast is well known. Emma Watson turned down Emma Stone's Oscar-winning role in order to portray Belle. Stone's La La Land co-star Ryan Gosling also allegedly turned down the role of Beast, which went to Dan Stevens to star in Damien Chazelle's movie via Teen Vogue. The comparison between the two movie illustrates a contrast in which types of roles an actor can go for, and they are both romances, both musicals, and one of them is a box office hit, the other is an Oscars contender. Huh. But I don't remember Beauty and the Beast with...
Yeah, that was the live action one.
Oh, right. But that has Emma Watson in Beauty and the Beast. I saw this here and I'm like, wait, that's La La Land.
I know that was very confusing.
That actually broke me. Okay. Rooney Mara turned down Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I don't even know, really. Let's see here. Rooney Mara reportedly in talks to play Jyn Erso in the first Star Wars spin-off movie. Jessica Chastain turned down Iron Man 3. That's interesting. What would they have played? Does it say? Wow.
Well, 2 roles, Maya Hansen and Christine Palmer.
Interesting. Wow. I guess they just don't want to be in it, right? They don't say why.
Well,
though, right?
It looks like it's a schedule issue, but...
Oh, right. Denzel Washington turned down Furious 7. That made 1.7 billion.
He wanted Furious 6.
Yeah, really. Denzel Washington turned down a small role now believed to have been Kurt Russell's character, Mr. Nobody. Gotcha. I haven't seen the Furious series. Claire Danes turned down Titanic. Wow. Wow. That would have been completely different, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Plus, the timing is interesting because I think she was kind of at the top of her career around the time Titanic came out.
Yeah. Dane stands out because of her well-known collaboration with Leonardo DiCaprio in Romeo and Juliet, which came out a year before Titanic. It would have been surreal to see the pair reunite for another star-crossed romance. However, Dane said via Elle that she had 0 regrets. I think I did get offered the role. I'm not entirely clear on that. Honestly, I had just made this romantic epic with Leo, and I just didn't have it in me. Aw. I would do it. Come here, Leo. I know that you go for your younger ladies, so right? Like when they hit 26 or 27, he breaks up with them and finds somebody else. Have you not heard of that?
No.
Yeah, there's
I
a
don't
whole
follow him.
there's a whole Leo DiCaprio like. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah. No, I can't. Never mind. I'm just gonna. We're running out of time. Matt Damon turned down The Dark Knight, which that's fine with me. I don't see him being the Dark Knight, but that's okay.
Well, wait, that's the movie. What would the role be?
Oh, right. Let's see what he turned down the role of Harvey Dent, Two-Face in The Dark Knight. No, really? No, but I can't see anybody else being the Dark Knight, so that's fine. Yeah, so that's it. Dun dun dun. That's all 8. Okay, folks, that is it. We always just jump back into the party bus and race down Main Street, and I'll refresh the continuity report. It is usually politically neutral. Oh God, Oppenheimer, no.
It is still, but it looked for a second like maybe it's not today.
Doggone it. I am hitting buttons on the wrong computer. All right, folks. Well, that's it. That's it for the continuity report for March 3rd, 2024. Thanks for hanging out. I don't know if anybody is in chat right now. Things are looking kind of wonky. Thank you very much for hanging out, though, if you are there. If you're still there, Z, hopefully me starting to talk other than about something from continuity report weeks. Yep. And there you go. That's it. Anyway, I'm Mayor Watt. That is ohmtown.com. That's what powers the continuity report. And up there is the Sentient AI's visualizer. You want to say see in about 15 minutes?
See you in about 15 minutes.
That is a first, folks. The AI never says what I ask them to say. Is that all you're going to say?
That's what you asked me to say.
That never happens. Folks, if I'm not here tomorrow, you know what happened. Just kidding. Because I don't want anybody to think because I'm not here something actually happened. No, everything's fine. Anyway, okay. See ya for Technology Today. Bye-bye. See you in about 15 minutes or so. Bye-bye.